Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy. He took his juke canoe across the pond and back again. It's Zack. What's up, buddy?
Juke canoe was hysterical. That was Ron Katz's just going 103. That was great. Other than that, it was fine.
I'm glad you heard it.
Yeah, I listened. I listened to the competition. I want to know what's what.
Competition is the way to describe that, sir.
The competition? He said rooting for the laundry about 7 times. Great.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. People share the episodes. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. We love the love. We love the hate. We're going to keep doing this. We are getting dangerously close, Zach, to episode 200.
Big time. Bring back all the old guests, like a big panel, Brady Bunch style, Hollywood Squares.
Really big show. Really big show.
Really big.
Do you know the reference?
Yes, Ed Sullivan. I drink and know things.
Very nice. Zach, I think we have a great episode planned for tonight. At least so. I think so. But before we get into tonight's episode, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking?
Since I just got back from England, and boy, my arm's tired, I asked Jenna, who was going to the store of sorts, to get me an English beer. She shows up with a beer from New England. I have a Harpoon IPA.
Oh my God, that's so close to what I have.
Oh, you do? What do you have? Because I know Ron Katz didn't give a shit.
I can't believe that you didn't bring a beer back. I really thought you were going to put in.
How the hell am I going to bring a beer on a plane? You can't do that.
Suitcase? Dump. You check.
No, there's no way I'm risking beer explosion. I think anything in aerosol is going to break. Anything glass.
It's all dirty clothes at that point. What's it matter?
God, the whole suitcase, you have to get rid of it. It's a must throw out situation. I got a Harpoon. Don't give me crap. What are you drinking?
Also from the same area, I had people over this past weekend for a nice dinner. What? No invite?
You did invite me. It was a non-invite because you knew I was away. It was an invitation.
It was an invitation, but I got a nice little holiday sampler pack where this is a UFO pineapple portal brewed with real pineapple. I think it's just a wheat beer, but I'm making a point to drink this because Timmy was like, this is one of the worst beers I've ever had.
Good. He's one of the worst everything. Enjoy.
4.8%. Release for Kraken.
What's the percent on this thing? I don't know.
Bull jaunt.
6%.
Cheers.
These percentages are all made up anyway.
I've thought that before. Little conspiracy action.
It's that much alcohol? Whatever.
Episode 195. I think this is going to be a pretty amazing episode, or some might call it, Zach, give me your best.
Jolly good show.
Really jolly good. Jolly good. Jolly good.
Cheerio. I thought about getting the Madonna accent. I've been there for 12 seconds and come back with a full-on accent.
I don't know how many people who listen to this have access to. Yeah, she was married to Guy Ritchie, who is a BJJ black belt, for the record.
Oh, sorry. I got the wrong B and J confused.
Those of us who don't have immediate text or talking to Zach, you should be thankful because he was more insufferable than normal when he was across the pond because everything you said was just like, okay, you wanker.
Yeah. You wanker.
Is it with the ER or an A?
I think it's a wanker. By the way, they do the Chelsea games like in Ted Lasso. Wanker, wanker, wanker. It was great.
It's like the asshole. Asshole.
Yeah, but wanker's better than asshole. And someone did call someone else a tosser. Oh, that's the best. You tosser. I mean, all the pieces are there. Now, I broke out at the West Ham game. Get off your knees, ref. You're blowing the game. Now, that might not have gotten there yet because that got a roar. I mean, That's every ump in the world, but they haven't made it. They've got other stuff for their refs.
People laugh, big pop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they liked it. It was a cut up in the area. I brought the American sensibility to their classy show.
Did you talk to anybody that immediately was just like, you're from New York? Like, immediately?
Immediately they knew it. Well, they're not from New York necessarily. They knew I was this area, American. But, at the Chelsea game, they don't allow you to bring beer from the vestibule into the stadium. That's absolute nonsense.
You got to chug it outside?
Yeah. Like, I got into it with the guy a little bit. With the
Shocker.
Yeah, exactly. With the doorman. But at the West Ham game, they want you sauce. You can get as much beer as you want in there. They don't care. They're from the east side of town. They're a bunch of hooligans. You know what? Zoe, excellent in a bar. She makes friends quick in bars. Not
free
a
stuff,
great.
free stuff, free or like friends or
No, just like making buddies at the next table at every table. She's like has no problem chatting with people.
who cares? You're not trying to get laid. Like, what do you need her for?
I don't need her, but I'm just saying she's good in the bar. She's good in the bar setting. Let's see how your kid handles some shit in the bar. Some people can't handle a bar setting. A good hooligan.
Yeah, I've been out with you before.
I'm great in bars. People love me.
Behind bars, maybe.
God, that's what jail's known for.
So, Zachy, you were away. Any major highlights that you want to talk about? I figured I would just it's an international trip, so like, God bless.
We were well behaved, and they were very nice to us in England. No dust ups with strangers, or the fact we almost missed our transport from Stonehenge to where the fuck Bath is because the two girls can't walk a mile. Oh, were they slow? And this guy made a whole thing. We're leaving at like this time. I don't care if you're on the bus or not. Literally, the doors were like closing, and we got on. The girls couldn't handle it. So he's eating an apple and chatting about her day. I'm like, I don't care about any of this. Just go. None of this is meaningful. Other than
Stonehenge,
that,
do I need to go there? It looks pretty overrated.
If you're just to go there for just that, overrated. Going, it's cool. And there was a lot of talk of me touching the rock, but the guy was right there.
Were you allowed to?
No, but it's right there. But
you
the
can piss
right
in the Blarney Stone, but you can't touch the.
I don't know pissing on a Blarney Stone, but my daughter has now desecrated 2 national monuments. She pissed all over the Arc de Triomphe, and the one day of the trip she wasn't feeling well, she threw up on Windsor Castle. Not near it, not next to it, right on it. Boom. Windsor Castle, go fuck yourself, king and queen. You can get close to Stonehenge, though the secondary piece, it's an arm's length, but the guy's on top of you.
Queen consort.
Yeah. There was some art touching. It was fine. We did set up one of the mini alarms. It's all good. We got too close to the
set off an alarm?
Like,
how do you bury the lead?
No, we did not we didn't try to steal the Mona Lisa, but we could have, because I've got stories for days. We can get to that in a second. Or just go.
We're already into the show?
We're diving right in. Because the day we were at the, quote, British Museum, which was excellent.
Quote. It's the British Museum.
Yeah, we're at the British Museum. The head of the British Museum fired for allowing people to steal the art. Now, Zoe was talking about stealing things, and it was like a whole, like, all right, Zoe, you're taking the joke too far. You just keep
Great
saying,
behind bars.
We're coming back and stealing some of this art. We could have done it in front of anybody. 2,000 pieces were stolen of this person.
The day you were there.
The day we were there was the person that got canned. It was big news on the BBC. Yeah, exactly. So
every time you saw that on TV, you thought it, right?
Yeah, BBC. There's 4 of them. Just slapping you silly. Yeah. But yeah, a quote mind-blowing number of objects were stolen. 2,000 pieces.
I guess that's frowned upon.
We could have just walked out with it. Frowned upon seems to be encouraged. The whole Thomas Crown affair, but without Pierce Brosnan.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's good. Nick Renee Russo might show her tits from afar. They were fine.
Sneaky cute. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Major League.
I guess that is that her biggest role that I know her from. It might be.
Probably. What else has she done?
I don't know.
She's sort of like famous for being Renee Russo. What else has she done? So
Bird
yeah,
on a wire. I don't know.
What was that?
It's a Goldie Hawn
wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's that. So that happened the day we were there. The person got canned. So like, we could have stolen anything we wanted. They were running on fumes. No one driving the ship.
Keep talking.
Oh, yeah, but that was what we did. We also did other stuff. 2 soccer games I went to. The second one went to alone, and it was the day that I ditched my wife and kid, and the heavens immediately opened on me. They went to go to India.
A little bit of karma, but I think we've talked about this on the podcast. As much as you and I watch a lot of sports by ourselves, when you go there, you kind of want a friend.
Yeah, I made a friend. He might have been with an escort. He was dressed way too nice, and she might have had an Eastern European accent. It wasn't speaking much. He sort of had to explain the game to her, but then got bored, so started talking to me.
He already paid his money. He's going to get what he wants.
He might not. She seemed, I don't know. She seemed a little not worth the effort. Maybe she was his wife. What the hell do I know? But yeah, I make friends quickly at these things. But yeah, the game was much better with Janet and Zoe, and Zoe was an animal.
Any new listeners? Last time you went across also, you went to England 2 years in a row, or is it 2 out of 3?
I've never been to England since I'm 10 years old. I went to Italy last year and France from 3 years
Feels
ago.
like the same place.
Same
But
place.
didn't you made friends and I thought we had new BYD listeners.
It didn't come up. They're not big podcast people over there.
I think you're wrong. Podcasts are slowly taking over, but I did see an article today that Spotify is taking a bath right now, losing money.
Really?
They're like, the growth is up 4 times, but the revenue is down a lot.
Well, you can't make money on these things yet. But no, I didn't get. I should have. We need cards. There's cards old school. How do you promote things these days?
Let me take an Ussie, and then you give them your social.
My social? I'm on
You
Facebook. That's about it.
That's all you need, buddy. I share these episodes on Facebook, which
All right.
you gave me shit for playing on my phone during the episode. Do you know I'm always just sharing the episode or looking into something to tell you? Like, you think I'm sitting here being like, yeah, Shelby, I will have a home in Toshin next week.
Yeah, Shelby, give me some Hippanonymous. Send it north. But
King of the North!
Yeah, not the prune one. I like the apricot and the raspberry. So do it nice.
I say apricot. Is that wrong?
Apricot. Apricot? That is not okay.
No, okay.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, doesn't sound right. I mean, you say
No,
water, so it's a lot going on with you.
Water and hoagie. Yeah, what's wrong?
Speaking of water, I touched the nastiest water in the world at Bath, where they're supposed to take baths.
That was just down the street from you, up in the Heights, huh?
They say it's discouraged to touch the water, which I did. Then I touched Zoe's hands. Then she touched the water and touched my hand. Jen doesn't now ever want to speak to either of us again. But a friend of mine was there recently. My sassy friend Molly. I go, "You touched the water and you were in Bath?" She goes, "No." I go, "Well, I don't know." She goes, "Wait, hold on. Mean that nasty green shit? Oh, don't touch that." It was pretty gross, the water. Other than that, what else did we do? We ate at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. That was good.
Yeah, I've also been there. It's at Caesars in Atlantic City.
No, not that one. Savoy Grill. He's at $1 million. Then he also
went to the good. It was actually really good. I'm trying to get my mother to go
good.
there. Like surprisingly good for considering it's like one of those like Guy Fieri's barbecue joint. It was
he took over like an established place already, so it was going to be good regardless. We also went to his gastropub. Best part of it: kids eat free. This meal still cost me £100, but kids eat free. Can't go wrong.
So just why don't you order her 3 appetizers and
exactly.
I'll
have some water and she'll have 3 burgers. she's a competitive eater in training. Yeah. She weighs 18 pounds soaking wet. 3 hamburgers.
Zoe Chestnut over there.
Ooh, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Very nice,
What
Zack.
else did we do? We went to a sports bar, which was great in England. We saw Phantom of the Opera. That was fun.
Why? Because you wanted to go to West End? Is that it?
No, because Jenna wanted to go to West End. And I said, I don't want to see something I can see on Broadway. So we settled on Phantom because it's not on Broadway anymore. When the chandelier crashed, Zoe scared the shit out of it. It's great.
Yeah, that's the only part of that. And then the one song. Phantom is unwatchably bad. Most overrated thing.
It was actually better than
crazy.
There, maybe she was on vacation, didn't give a shit. Went to the London Dungeon. It scared the fuck out of her. London Dungeon. The London Dungeon it used to be like you'd go.
Dungeon? It's like Verger.
Sure. London Dungeon. So you used to like go through and they would teach you about the creepy underbelly of England. And guys would jump out and like grab your arm, but now they can't touch you anymore because like it's 2023 and people get gropey. So now there's like real production value, and it was scary. Jenna screamed a few times too, but Zoe, like each room was like different like terrors. But at the end there was some crying, there was some laughing, and a lot going on there.
Episode 195 is what Zoe's going to play for her therapist one day.
I am her therapist. This will be her podcast. Her and Milo will get on and bitch about us. My fucking parents gave me a name without accent marks in it.
I did like the text you sent me where it had a double accent, a double tilde in Milo.
Milo, yeah. There's a lot going on in England. We did things.
All right.
Yeah.
You're going to keep talking about you, or you got anything else more important?
No. I mean, I could go, but it's fine. I got a million quirkies, but you go. How was your week?
It was great. Meanwhile, Ron Katz, the best, right?
He was great.
How does he show up without a jerky quirky? Right?
He had nothing. He showed up naked.
And I was just going to edit the whole thing out, but then he actually stumbled on something funny. But Zack, if you're quirky and you want to eat some jerky?
Well, to answer the question you're about to ask, what you watching beforehand? The BBC. What the fuck else am I gonna watch? So like,
right?
So there's all what? Oh, we're getting to that. Oh, no, we're getting to that. So like, they have a different way of doing news over there. So obviously, there's like headline news of like, the guy got shot down, my Wagner Group guy, and other people. But like,
Oh, you're singing submarines, buddy.
Their undercard gets up there real quick. So like, it was Wagner Group, something with Biden. Woman cleared of punching and kicking a pony. So it was a British teacher kicked a pony. This thing went to trial, and she got cleared. That's the number 3 story there that day, and that was big for 2 straight days. What?
I had a pony.
Yeah, Manya over there. Was that your girl name? Milo and Manya? Would that have been your girl?
Mila, dummy. Like Mila.
Was it going to be Mila? He really lays down on that one. 39-year-old Sarah Moulds cleared of all charges for kicking a fucking pony. The pony had it coming.
Pony up.
Yeah. Are you big on the Spanish soccer guy?
Okay, I've been following this story and I didn't want to talk about it.
Fabulous.
This is like the Andrew Cuomo thing. Like, I'm not gropey, I'm just Italian. Like, this guy's he
went for it, but he's also been doing a big crotch grab thing. He got busted for, giving the crotch grab to Team 1, staying next to like the Queen of Spain. He's an animal.
Yeah, he grabbed a girl and kissed her, which he was like, it was consensual. And then he said I listened to the news.
I said to Jenna, Richard Dawson would have been just killed for this. He kissed everybody. That was his thing.
Oh, still the best.
Richard Dawson, the best.
Yeah. Do you know that I have a patient that I was going to see that I showed up every day. She said, you need to come between 1 and 2, have to leave by 2 because that's when Bonanza comes on. And I would show up and she was always watching some weird back in the day, like 70s show. It was great one time because it had Jerry Stiller on from like 1972. And it was always like a couple with, the wife was in like a little TV and then they'd switch sides or whatever. But it was Richard Dawson pre-Family Feud. And I just look at him like,
laughing?
No, I know laughing. It was a game show where they had famous couples, and it was kind of like the Newlywed, but not. It was very similar, but it was Richard Dawson. Keep going.
That's Quirky. Great. Quirky, do you know the quarterback's name for, is it Oklahoma? Do you know about this guy?
No.
You don't know his name? General Booty.
Oh, the names have gotten way better. Tank Bigsby, like, come on.
Look at this guy, General Booty. You can't beat that.
It's a white guy too?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be funny forever. You know who Michael Dunn is?
He owes me money.
Browns nobody. The Browns wish him a happy birthday on social media, cut him 2 hours later.
Oh, shit.
2 hours. It's rough. Just in general. So I went away, as we know. I hate the act of having to buy family gifts when you go away. It's so stupid. I want out of this social contract. Please don't buy me anything. Why do I have to buy them English tea, a shirt, a fucking
They have that on Amazon.
Jack
Don't
hat?
do it.
I don't want to. I have to do it. It's part of it. Did you hear about the woman? I've got tons. You heard the woman who snuck a gun into a White Sox game and shot someone?
Also, wait, do you know the best part of the story?
How she did it. Where she hid it.
Keep going.
In her belly fat. She rolled it up in there and concealed it.
Okay, I don't know how to pronounce the name of the guy. Jeff Passan? He's like a...
I know who he is.
Did you know what he did?
What?
He retweeted that and wrote the most effort shown at a Sox park all year. That's the best part of the story, that a lady stuck in a gun.
In her comments. Fat? Jesus Christ. So I might owe Dr. Rosenpenis an apology, but I won't because
he'll never listen.
He can eat a bag of dicks. So like when he did the tush push and I gave him crap for like making the same joke that everyone else made, Bob Barker, deceased.
Oh my God. Do you know how many people texted me like the same joke? I was like, I've heard of it.
Like
same
he
joke.
made it close to 100.
Close to 100. Does he get a second spin? Like I also made the joke, and then my sister goes just like, that was pretty funny. Where I'm like, everybody's making that joke.
Right. So I think I owe Rosenpenis an apology. It's as close as he's going to get because I didn't actually say the words. Anyway, what else? An 800-pound alligator was killed in Mississippi yesterday on the first day of alligator season. What? The fuck is alligator season?
Maybe that's like their Thanksgiving. Like they're going to cook one for the first game of the college football season.
I had no idea.
If you've never had gator, I've had it twice. It's chewy and delicious.
It's excellent. I had blackened gator in New Orleans. I've had it twice, actually. It is really good.
Fantastic. Not like a whole fillet, though. Like a little deep fried thing.
Yeah, they come in chunks.
Yeah, with lots of schmutz to dip it in.
It's got some schmutz and dipping schmutz. But... I had a fillet. I want fillet of gator or a gator burger.
Oh.
Just dive right in.
Speaking of which, do you know how my day started out today? I'm
I have
walking
no
into a
idea.
patient's house, and their cat is outside. It runs by me, and it looks like it has one of those long Japanese mustaches. I'm just going like, is this a Salvador Dali cat? No,
That's
it
pretty
has
good.
a baby snake in its mouth. I was like, oh my
What?
god, oh my god. Like, cats just like to hunt. They don't want to
Yeah.
eat it. It found a baby snake, ate it,
They
killed it.
torture it too.
Yeah, and then it was just walking around. I was like, this is the worst day ever. I'm getting the willies just thinking about it.
Ew. Do you know who Maria Sakkari is?
No.
Tennis player extraordinaire, apparently. She got upset yesterday at the U.S. Open and was bitching the entire time that the stadium smelled like weed and she got stoned. You know what?
All
Fuck
New York
off.
smells like weed right
All
now.
New York smells like weed. And by the way, she's as stoned as her opponent. It's the same conditions. She's as stoned as the ref who can barely see the ball. Like, I don't want to hear it. Play like a champion. But
you know who the real Shonda is? Poor Johnny Mac. Could you imagine him? He would have dominated if he was allowed to smoke up everybody.
Oh God, yeah, he's a fucking mess. But yeah, she was bitching that the whole place smells like weed, and what are you gonna do? That's my quirky. It was a lot of it. So eat a bag of dicks, Ron Katz. No, I love Ron Katz.
So you did your Whatcha Watchin', but before I tell you mine, Zach, I just need to let you know you are so not invited to my bat mitzvah.
I heard it's good. By the way, it's the best title for a movie possibly since Hamlet 2, which may be the best title of a movie of all time.
We watched it. I took notes. Let's just start with it's meant for a 13-year-old girl. And like the fact that I was watching it, it made me like I might be on like a no-fly list right now because I watched this. Sandler plays real Adam Sandler like in real life where he's lost his fastball. Like there's nothing left. He's not acting. He's just literally playing like a dad. But it had enough Jewish humor. I mean, they also do the Shema a couple of times. Like it was a little bim bam bim 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 bam. I mean, it was enough Jewish stuff, but it was the most diverse movie ever. There's everybody in the movie. Kim Chang Cohen, get out of here.
So is it as good as Keeping Up with the Steins, which is the Godfather of bar mitzvah movies?
I still haven't seen it, but
dude,
it's
really good.
My one big
Larry Miller just crushes in it.
We talked about this.
My
big thought from this movie about the bat mitzvah thing is, you know how I always say us Jews don't have enough good press?
I think it's we Jews.
The fact that like the cross motion is so good. Why do we not have like a
Zorro?
Zach, you're with me, right? Like a Zorro.
The cross is really good. And the best cross is Jimmy Dugan when he does it and he points. The best.
Yeah. But the biggest thing about this movie, though, is he had all of his 4 family members in it. His wife did not play his wife in the thing. It was Adina Menzel.
His wife, by the way, sneaky hot and Big Daddy. And what's the bad one with That's My Boy? She's the masseuse, and That's My Boy who won't get a hand job.
Pardon me? That's My Boy, the bad one?
Yeah. No, it's hysterical, but it's not a good movie. But
it's not laugh out loud. That movie is very watchable.
Oh, it's funny as fuck, but like it's not a classic.
But it's not one of the
right.
4.
The masseuse who won't jerk him off. That's his wife, and so is it's same as the.
I know who it is. The kid in this movie is a dead ringer. It's really kind of shitty because his 2 daughters, right? And in the movie, it's the older one and the younger one. The older one looks like him, which is not a good thing. The younger one, the star of the thing, looks just like the mother, and you're just like, oh, she's a cute girl. Like, good for her.
Well, Billy Joel's fucking kid with Christy Brinkley looks like him. So poor kid.
That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's not good.
Yeah. And her other daughter from the other marriage looks just like her. Smoke show.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's like 80 and she's gorgeous.
Watch it with Zoe, which I think you'll get a little bit more laughing out of it. It's not good enough to recommend. Meanwhile,
what are we doing here for 20 minutes?
Do you know what I did today, which really bothered me? I had a patient yesterday who was going on and on about, have you never seen like The Jerk
neck
with Steve?
Rash? What's going on over there?
I don't want to talk about it.
It's just
allergies. So I have patients that are constantly telling me like, oh, you need to watch this movie and that movie. And I'm like, yeah, that's from like 1967. I'm not watching it.
You should. Misery.
I have a younger guy I'm working with right now, or at least we finished up. And I'm going on about this Adam Sandler. I'm like, dude, like, Happy Gilmore. And he looks at me and goes, I've never heard of that movie. And I go, no. It's really funny. You have to watch it. I go, oh my God, I'm doing exactly what my patients do right now.
You're right. You should just kick them in the dick for not watching it. But watch Keeping Up with the Steins. Watch it tonight. You have nothing to do after this. I promise you. Your little bastard kid will never get to bed. So just watch it. Ron Katz says to watch it too. It's 2 against 1.
So, Zach, I wanted to do this to make sure that we get this in time because fantasy football is coming up and I need your help with something. Now, I don't really get to vote on this, but I do think there's some good content here. So I have been begging to have a last place penalty in my league of record, which is not the league you're in. Just so you know.
Oh.
But Rosenpenis, who is the commissioner, he just said, send me all of your suggestions and I will choose. But I want to, this is like 5 a.m. I just started typing stuff out. Go ahead and I want you to give me the gold, silver, and bronze for what I suggested to be a fantasy football punishment.
I'm telling you, a mustache for a month.
I do that. I'll do it for free. I'll do that right now.
Go nuts.
So it's a $100 buy, and he's like, "We'll just do a $200 penalty." I'm like, "No, dude, let's
money
make this
doesn't
fun."
matter. No, you will never in the rest of your life remember what you spend money on for anything. Penalties have to be physical.
Ready?
Yeah.
Number 1, eat $50 worth of McDonald's in one day.
What? Eat $50?
I'm sorry.
Just eat $50. Go.
$50 in McDonald's is a lot harder than you think in one day. That's like 4 extra value meals.
You may not make it, but I'd rather see you do White Castle because that's Harold and Kumar style. That's a shit ton of food.
Number 2, get tased.
Why is there even a 3?
I have a lot of these. Number 3, take a picture in only a Speedo on the University of Maryland next to the turtle. Number 4, stand outside of a grocery store and act like a greeter for 3 hours. You have to welcome everybody who comes in and thank everybody for shopping.
Yup, that's good too.
That's good. Number 5, go to a major sporting event, wear a wig, a suit, and a tie, dress like Trump for the whole time.
Nah.
Number 6, do a 10K. Don't care how, just do it.
Who's in that league? That's a lot of K.
Timmy's the only runner in the league. Maybe Seth could do it. Number 7, go to the beach. Get buried in sand up to your head for 3 hours. You're allowed to eat or drink and be fed by others, but there has to be a sign next to you saying why you're like that.
I don't love it. I'd rather, if you're going to a beach, Police Academy, and just write dork on your head and sunscreen and let that roll.
I'm not
done. Sunburned everywhere else.
My next group of suggestions. Number 1, chug a bottle of maple syrup. Number 2, smoke a pack of cigarettes in 1 week.
How about that's not so bad. 1 day.
We have a smoker in the group, so that wouldn't be so great. Number 3, in 1 month, you have to do 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, and 1,000 squats.
You'd lose me at the sit-ups.
You don't have a choice.
All right.
Number 4, wear a pink shirt every day to work for the month of October. I thought that would be nice for breast cancer awareness. Number 5, drive to Florida from your primary residence. The only problem with that is it
means you have to go shopping.
Drive to Florida from your primary residence.
What?
Just drive to Florida. It's a punishment, you know? Number 6, read War and Peace and pass a test on it.
Ooh, I like the test.
Number 7, binge every James Bond film.
I've done that.
And my favorite, which is not going to win, you have to make 100 origami birds.
Tase them.
Okay. So you were done with what, the tased? That's it?
I like the tase. You me and tasing, but tase. Oh shit. And I like the greeter one too. And yeah, I don't know why I like the greeter one. It tickled me. But tasing, but I don't want to see it. I want him tased from long range. Hold on, I dropped something and the cat is gonna get. Oh shit! Hold on.
I can keep talking.
Yeah, you talk.
Speaking of getting tased, did you see 2 people rush the field to give Acuna a hug?
Should have been tased.
Should have been right. Why do the players not have a taser where they just
the players?
The players.
I want one of those like long range tasers or like a rhinoceros tranquilizer from like snipers in areas.
I saw that written online. They're like, why aren't there people with like the taser? I also, did you see that Messi has a bodyguard who follows him up and down the sidelines?
What?
Messi has on the sidelines, wherever he is on the field, there's a bodyguard that just kind of paces him back and forth.
Meh. They run on the field in soccer. In England, after one of the games, a kid, like he must have been 16, ran on the field to go greet a player. Yeah, he got roughed up a little, but you know what the player did? Went, shook his hand, gave him his jersey. This kid's going to jail for the night, but he got his money's worth. They don't care over there, though. Like, and even the guards are roughing him up for laughing while, like, throwing him around. It's a different world over there.
All right, Zachy. Hip hop? Hippanonymous? Ready for a story?
It's a thing.
Had a patient I'm working with. We're sitting there during the treatment. Her phone rings. It's Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire. And I just start singing along.
I thought it's Johnny Cash. That would be a hell of a call.
So I'm working with this patient. She gives me this. She like makes a smile awkward enough that I'm like, there's a story here. So she finishes. Oh, okay. And finally, I'm like, I got to say, I love that song. I don't really, but whatever. She goes, so it's an inside joke with me and a woman I used to work with because, and I'm sorry to tell you this, I have really bad hemorrhoids. And when we would sit at work, we would just, and this lady goes on and on about this. Zach, I'm just trying to keep a straight face. And she goes, so we changed both of our rings to Burning Ring of Fire. And every time our phones ring, we just kind of silently giggle. It's like our little joke. I'm like, I can't believe this lady's telling me this.
Lady is the nastiest joke I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, that was disgusting. Oh,
yeah. I would just lift there and go, ew. No, just say less.
Pishadoo of the week. I have a bunch of candidates, and then I have an extra one that's going to win at the end. So we'll do that. It's going to win. So let me give you what I got. First one, they're trying to figure out the Super Bowl halftime show. You know, they offered it to like all the boy bands. That's what they're trying to do at this point. And
all of them?
Like the NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, like
to do it all together is a big thing.
Like they'll do like a medley, and maybe I'm the Pishadoo because sign me up.
Like, you love that shit.
I do.
Oh,
so I heard that.
Because you like dancing. You like that whole choreography crap.
Yeah.
All
right. This next one, I don't know what this says about.
Boys Town.
This might be more anti-me than anything, but
perfect.
I got an advertisement for comedy camp, which you get to meet Jay Leno. You get to meet Alonzo Bowden. There was enough people that you're like, okay. So naturally, I click through the advertisement and it says $5.99. I'm like, that's a lot of freaking money to learn some comedy. And then I was like, you know what? I'm curious.
It's nothing.
$500, by the way, $5.99.
Yeah, I got it. That's is it like fancy camp? You're there for like 3 days?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
That's amazing.
So
$5.99 is not a lot.
$5.99 is to reserve your spot. At which point the price jumps to $3,000 if you're an early bird registration, and then to $3,500 for 3 days of comedy lessons type. Zach, I think we should do a comedy camp. You and I teach a comedy camp. That's what I'm getting at with this.
For how much? I could do half that.
I would do $30 and a case of beer.
But I want to go to like a lodge, like get people out in the wilderness and really make it weird for them. Then you teach comedy camp. Where is it? Like Leno's house?
L.A. Yeah,
he doesn't go far. He's not traveling.
Next candidate. I don't know what was said to Tua Tagovailoa, but he also now is doing the keep my name out your mouth. I'm over that saying. It's so annoying.
It shouldn't even be a saying. It's just like someone said.
I've heard it forever ago. It's been on the streets. Yeah.
Before Will Smith, he stole it from someone else?
No, it's just comedy bonics. Like it's been out there for a while. That's literally what it's street talk. It's hood talk.
It's hood talk. You got the juice now.
Next candidate. I saw this.
I'll watch Juice after this if you watch the Steins.
Juice?
Have you ever seen Juice with Tupac? It's excellent.
Tupac Shakur?
The same. It's good.
I saw, you know how people post stuff online?
They don't make hood movies anymore.
People post online like, oh, look at my fancy food and what is that? I saw a dish, I think it was an Italian dish, maybe even in Italy, that I was really just like, wait, that's what we're doing? It looked like chicken Alfredo in a wine glass type of thing, but then they put a plate on top of it, turn it over, and put some Parmesan cheese in the little crevices at the top of the glass. They serve it to you, pull the wine glass up, sprinkle the cheese on, all the presentation. I was like, that's the most average looking thing I've ever seen in my life.
$49.99.
Oh, yeah. As far as the portion size, it's the size of a wine glass. That's like 4
I will
good
say
bites.
this: Gordon Ramsay gives you a portion. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, he's got a hog, right?
Him?
Oh, we're talking about the food. Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
sorry.
monstrous. Definitely not.
Right.
You don't get to that level of success without at least 11 inches.
All right. We've gotten far enough into this episode. I had to do something with the Trump arrestee mugshot type of thing. I was going to work it into the promo. All I want to say is, do you know what I got? like literally jumped up out of bed. I was reading the names because like 11 people got arrested and one of them was somebody named Jenna Ellis.
You never heard of her?
And I went, Jenna Elias got arrested?
I was getting when she was a thing when she got arrested. I've heard of her months ago. People were sending me like things on screen. Wait, wrong Jenna Elias. Yeah,
I mean, it's close enough that I think Jenna has to change her name.
No, she's not the one who's getting arrested. This girl should change her name. Anonymity.
Next candidate.
Like I think Bolton. He's the one who sucks.
Next candidate here, you might be the Pishadoo. The Prigozhin getting shot down. Do you remember like a month ago? You're like, are you following the Wagner story?
He's the fucking man. I mean, he went down the ball of flames, but
although the story with Putin coming out with this story of being like, he was a brave man. Yeah. We will miss him. And be like, yeah, there was a bomb on the plane that exploded.
No, it was a missile. They just shot the thing. Like,
I think they already came out and said it wasn't a missile. But him going down, you already
when
sunk
they say it's not a missile, hey, it means it's a missile. Russia says it's not a missile. You're right. It was 2 missiles. Like, come on.
Did you see what happened to Kevin Hart?
No.
For whatever reason, he decided to do a 40-yard dash race against former NFL running back, possibly a Pro Bowler, Stephen Ridley. He played for the Patriots.
He was a good player.
Kevin Hart tore a muscle in his abdomen and had to get a wheelchair to get out of there.
Ow.
This is like you remember back in the day, like Brian Scalabrine was getting a lot of shit in the NBA because LeBron was just tearing him up. And Scalabrine came out and said, LeBron is the best player ever. And he's 10 times the player I am. Guess what? I'm 100 times the player that any of you Warriors are online. And then he would destroy the people. He'd be like, come play me one-on-one. That is how it is. Like, Stephen Ridley is past his prime. He is so much faster. Former track star. But Kevin Hart.
Towards you. Dude, it should have been like 60 yards versus 40, but he tore a muscle. Is Kevin Hart fast even?
Yeah, he's got little legs. I don't know.
Yes.
You missed a great UFC main event 2 weeks ago. Sugar Sean O'Malley, new bantamweight champion, had an amazing knockout. Pull back counter right through the champion's face. He becomes guy has a Post Malone type of vibe going. He just got tattooed Champ, CHAMP, over his eyebrow. Terrible.
What an asshole.
I'm glad you agree with that. Next candidate, your New York Mets doing a tribute video for Max Scherzer last night. What the hell? Is this the
bonus one, or is this the one that I'm going to go crazy for?
No, I got one that it's going to win. That was one that was really, just like, what?
Really bad.
Tone deaf? I don't know what to say. It's try hard. Like, it was really stupid.
It just, you need a better post-production producer. So, no, it was the stupidest thing in the world. He pitched there for a minute and a half at a very average capacity. Why the hell would they give him
for a year and a half of mediocre service? Like, it was stupid.
I'm just as pissy about Doc and Darryl getting retired numbers. That's a whole other thing.
Why?
How much time do we have?
No, we're getting cut short here. We're playing you off, Johnny.
Yeah.
Save it for next week, Jerks.
Eric and I are on the different side. We agree on this. Simon and Shaq want it retired. Eric and I say no.
All right. Let's talk about that next week. I have 3 more candidates before the winner. Next one. So this whole writer strike that's going on, tell me you saw the new podcast, The Strike Force 555. Jimmy Kimmel, who's the British guy on HBO? John Oliver. Mm-hmm. It's Fallon, Seth Meyers, and Colbert are doing like a strike podcast every night for an hour. It is the most cringy shit you've ever heard.
Is it good?
No.
So without writers, they're not funny, these guys?
Ring-a-hang-a-ling. Yeah. All right. Got 2 more. U.S. is giving a lot of money and aid to Ukraine right now for the war that they're in. The U.S. will not be giving specific planes to pilots until the pilots are able to read English so they understand how to fix or work the... Don't you remember back in the day you would get some toy and it would have the language and like it would have the instructions in like 9 different languages?
Like 12 pages of like Russian, Korean. Yeah.
Doesn't this seem really stupid that they're like, oh, you get the planes once you learn English?
Why don't you just... It's a plane. They know how to fly their planes. Are they a pilot over there? Is there a pilot over there? There's a pilot over here.
You got money for them wigs? You got money for me.
I don't know about all that, but yeah.
And my favorite one, back to school. Happy back to school to everybody. Be safe. I love the pictures online, even though some people hate them.
Why? Why is that a thing?
I like
Going back
it.
to school is going to 5th grade is the law. Don't look at your pictures.
Did you see last week the 3rd grade teacher that went viral who showed up hammered? And they have her on body cam footage where they're sitting down and be like, now, Miss Johnson, it came to our attention. You may be a little drunk. She's like, I'm not drunk. This is coffee and only coffee. And I maybe had something to drink earlier.
My first and 4th grade teacher, who was the same person, best teacher I ever had, apparently fall down drunk. You've got to be a drunk to do that job.
Mrs. Eisenberg is not. All right, Zachy, before I give you the good one, go ahead and give me the Pishadoo of the week. You need me to give it to you again?
Absolutely is sneaking some stuff, or at least she's definitely huffing glue. She's like Miss
Super
Lippy.
Super Bowl halftime show, comedy camp. Tua, keep your name out your mouth. Italian wine glass food. Jenna Ellis should change her name. Kevin Hart gets into a race. Prigozhin going down. Sugar Sean O'Malley. The Max tribute. Strike Force 5. Ukrainian pilots can fly once they learn English. And body cam. 3rd grade footage. Who is the
Kevin Hart? How is that ever going to go well?
Yeah, that was pretty
There's
stupid.
No end game. There's no world where that ends well.
All righty. And the last one I heard today, I meant to bring this up back in the day. Maybe I did. Now you know who he is. 3rd string, maybe 2nd string quarterback on the Tennessee Titans, a guy named Will Levis, who might end up being something one day. Supposed to go 1st round, went 2nd. Do you know he puts mayo in his coffee?
We've been over this. I brought this up.
And got a sponsorship deal from it.
Oh! From Hellman's?
I don't know who gave it to him. I thought we did talk about this, but I heard today that he ended up getting a huge sponsor. He's never going to play in the NFL, but he got a huge sponsorship from that promotion. That killed me.
God,
I was like that, right?
I think I would. I hate mayo, but you throw enough money at me, I'm not going to learn to like it. In my coffee, I would drink it every day.
Boozer down to the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. We had a good time. Zach, we made it this whole episode. You didn't say a single word. I got to say, you know the Jersey curse continues? My boy, Steven Strasburg, happy trails.
I thought that was a Nationals jersey. The one that they got where they didn't do the
I remember that. Adam Dunn. That was the Adam Dunn.
Nationals was great. Well, that's Strasburg. What did he do? Dead?
He got a World Series MVP, but one of the most underwhelming careers ever. I bought this.
Snake bitten.
Terrible.
How's your Mark Pryor jersey holding up?
We out.
It's just as good.